it's very infantilizing, talking about women as though we're weak, we're meek, we need a protector, we need a defender.
On CNN, Alyssa Farah Griffin ripped her former boss Donald Trump over this.
I make this statement to the great women of our country. You will be protected, and I will be your protector. Women will be happy, healthy, confident, and free. You will no longer be thinking about abortion. So all they talk about abortion.
We just sit around thinking about abortions all day. It just underscores a fundamental lack of understanding for why a demographic that represents half of the country is one that he is struggling so profoundly with.
You will no longer have anxiety from all of the problems our country has today. You will be protected, and I will be your protector.
That's right. Donald Trump, an adjudicated rapist found liable by a jury for sexually abusing a woman, will be the protector.
I think Donald Trump, if he loses this election, is going to look back and think that one of the worst decisions he made was not having a female on the ticket who actually knows how to speak to living, breathing, normal women.
Instead, Donald Trump has J.D. Vance, who has a record of denigrating women as well as talking down and criticizing them.
A bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact.
Really valuable when you have kids in your life. And the fact that so many people, especially in America's leadership class, just don't have that in their lives, I worry that it makes people more sociopathic and ultimately our whole country a little bit less mentally stable.
That's right. J.D. Vance says people who do not have kids, particularly women, are less mentally stable. But back to Donald Trump, he has long been confident in his appeal to women.
I always thought women liked me. I never thought I had a problem. But the fake news keeps saying women don't like me. I don't believe it.
He should believe it because all of the polling shows a majority of women voters are rejecting him. Here's the latest data from CNN.
A new CNN national poll today finding a significant gender gap among likely voters. Vice President Kamala Harris leading Trump 53 to 43% among female voters, while Trump holds a 9-point lead over Harris among male voters. The poll also finding among independent women, Harris with 51% support compared to 36% for Trump.
So Trump is ramping up his campaign messages at women.
So let's talk about our great women, all right? Because women have gone through a lot.
Yes, reproductive rights do matter. Access to IVF, to the whole suite of care that women care about, whether it be abortion or so on. But economics, national security are also women's issues. And just the way he is talking about them is not the way to sway voters in the middle.
I will make you safe at the border, on the sidewalks of your now violent cities, in the suburbs where you are under migrant criminal siege.
Safety is generally a big issue for women, politically and also personally. But so is trust. And on countless issues of our time, Donald Trump keeps showing he cannot be trusted to tell the truth. Let's take crime, for example. According to Donald Trump, America under the Biden-Harris administration has been overrun with record violence and criminal mayhem, and police have been sidelined.
We're here today to talk about how we are going to stop the Kamala crime wave. Over the past 4 years, the Marxist left has waged a vicious war on law enforcement in our country. They've taken away the dignity and the spirit and the life of some of these police officers, and that's why you see it. The crime is so out of control.
Crime is so out of control? Not according to the latest FBI crime statistics. They show that crime in America under the Biden-Harris administration has dropped to the lowest levels in 50 years.
Just moments ago, the FBI released a new report showing the national crime rate decreased in 2023.
Violent crime decreased an estimated 3% last year, according to the FBI. Murder and manslaughter came down an estimated 11.6%. That's the biggest drop in the last 20 years. Aggravated assault down 2.8%. And here's what's also important to know about this, Jose, because there's been a lot of criticism of FBI crime data. This data covered 94% of the U.S. population. And while it's true that not all crimes are reported, all murders are counted. This contradicts what Donald Trump and many of his Republican allies have been saying. They've been out on the campaign trail saying that violent crime is increasing dramatically in cities around the country. It's just not what the numbers show, Jose.
So here we are again with Donald Trump suspending reality and using fear to try and get people, especially women, to vote for him. Trump is like that abusive boyfriend or husband who tries to reinforce a girlfriend or wife's insecurities so he can control her. And along the way, he diminishes her confidence and self-esteem so that she is dependent on him and doesn't leave. It is sick and wrong in a personal relationship. It is also creepy and abhorrent in politics. But that is Donald Trump. And it's worth noting that the two women Trump has portrayed as closest to him, his wife Melania and his daughter Ivanka, are MIA in the 2024 campaign.
So he's standing there as a man alone without the two most important women in his life flanking him and validating what he is saying about how he feels about women.
And that suggests that Melania and Ivanka know this is all transactional for Donald. That he's only making an appeal to women because he needs their votes, and not because Donald Trump really cares about their issues or concerns. One of the biggest concerns the past few years has been the erosion of reproductive rights imposed by the justices Donald Trump appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. Kamala Harris just told an interviewer that she is willing to change Senate rules and eliminate the filibuster in order to pass legislation restoring federal protections for abortion.
I think we should eliminate the filibuster for Roe. And we need and get us to the point where 51 votes would be what we need to actually put back in law the protections for reproductive freedom and for the ability of every person and every woman to make decisions about their own body and not have their government tell them what to do.
Harris's message is resonating with most voters, particularly women, and all of the polling data shows that women voters trust Harris more than Trump by a significant margin. This dynamic, according to several reports, is infuriating Donald Trump and causing him to explode and lash out at campaign staff as they scramble to try and come up with a new Trump strategy for women. Meanwhile, groups like the Lincoln Project are mocking Trump and highlighting his inadequacy. This ad is called Performance Issues.
Donald, it's just not working. You know it. The country is laughing at you. Eating pets? Really, Donald? That's all you got? It happens, Donald. Even the best shows lose their audience and get canceled. And you are never the best show. 3 million more voted for Clinton.
God bless you!
7 more for Joe Biden. Now you're tanking in the polls. Let's face it, Donald, your ratings suck. Look around. All these people like Chris and Susie, you're paying them more money than they ever made. You think they really care about you? What do you think will happen when you lose? You're headed to court. They're buying beach houses. And when it happens, Ron DeSantis is going to laugh his ass off. Nobody likes you, Donald. You were useful until you weren't. Eating pets? Sorry, Donald. You're canceled.
The ridicule is intense, and it is also effective because it touches on reality. Donald Trump's claims these days are not impressing anybody. His lies keep getting exposed, and like that pompous, self-absorbed, disgusting, and impotent man that some women have had to endure in their life, the end result is inevitable. Donald Trump is going to get ditched and remembered only as a creep. By the way, one of the women Donald Trump seems to be angriest at these days is pop star Taylor Swift. Trump, in all caps, I hate Taylor Swift.
And he knows he's going down. And the more he feels that he's going down, remember, he's running not just for president, he's running from prison. You're going to see him engage in more and more desperate behavior. And that's what you see with I hate Taylor Swift, is he's just lashing out. And, you know, his people have lost control over him.
A few days ago, after Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, Trump was asked about Swift on Fox News.
Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. What do you think?
Well, I actually like Mrs. I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better, if you want to know the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was not a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a question of time. You couldn't possibly endorse Biden. You look at Biden, you couldn't possibly endorse him. But she's a very liberal person. She seems to always endorse a Democrat, and she'll probably pay a price for it in the marketplace. But no, I like Brittany. I think Brittany's great. Brittany got a lot of news last week. She's a big She's a big MAGA fan. That's the one I like much better than Taylor Swift.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Ron Lee, who wrote, "How old is he? WTF, that's some junior high nonsense right there. The fact that he's a political party's nominee for president of the United States is pathetic." I agree. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump exploding over being rejected by women and getting mocked over his performance issues. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.